Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday, September 23rd meeting of the Norton Planning Board. The public is welcome to participate in person or remotely. We are here in person at the Norton Town Hall at 72 East Main Street in the Crane Room. You can also join online via the Zoom link as listed in the agenda. Please feel free to email any questions to the board ahead of the meeting to the email address listed for town staff in the agenda. I will call this meeting to order. We have all 6 members present in person. For our planning board business and agenda item, first thing we do have to do this evening is schedule some more meetings. We only have meetings scheduled through October, and that has coming quickly. So if we can schedule through the end of the year, I think that'd be best for tonight.
Motion, we take the winter off?
Denied. So right now, we have a meeting scheduled on October 21st. We'll talk about after November 4th and 18th. Anybody have anything, conflicts, suggestions?
We'll do it.
November 4th is election day. Can we do that?
Not on election day.
Is it election day? So
That's what my calendar and
I got nothing in my calendar
Yeah,
right
it
now.
says
It's
election
weird.
day on it's election day.
It is on mine too.
So, want to go 11 and 25?
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is the 11th.
Veterans Day is the 11th.
the 25th is Thanksgiving week, right?
Yes. As you can see, my challenge.
Why don't
Do
we
we have to
say the
meet on
18th
Tuesday?
and
Can we
Just
do-
call the 18th for now, since there isn't a ton going on. We'll leave it at November 18th for now for one meeting in November.
Okay.
If we have to add something, we will.
I can be open to doing it on other nights than Tuesdays, if you need to squeeze something like that out.
How about December 2nd and 16th?
Day of the week of those.
Sure.
Is that good enough for now, Paul? Or you
Yes.
want to go January?
Yeah,
Good
no,
enough?
thank you, because if something comes in now, these dates will help give us a chance to schedule those.
Back to our October 21st meeting. Right now, we haven't continued anything to that meeting, and that is the night after town meeting. So I'm thinking, since we had one after last spring town meeting and we didn't want to be there that night, do we want to reschedule that one or completely eliminate that one? And that being said, we are also being asked to pick between September 30th and October 2nd for a joint meeting with the Select Board and FinCom.
can you say those dates again?
Sure. Tuesday, September 30th, or Thursday, October 2nd. They were looking for some feedback. Neither one of those are set in stone, but those were the options given by Mr. Rich today.
And
As
if you can
best.
do both, that's great, because then I'll relay that to the town manager. I mean, if you can. If you can't, that's fine.
It doesn't affect me, but it's showing October 2nd as Yom Kippur.
I'm okay with doing both if you need to do that.
You also have it?
I don't know if that affects anybody, but
I'm fine with either the 30th or the
I
2nd.
mean, look at my big date on the 30th. I hope I can fit that in.
I'd probably.
Is that exciting, my schedule?
the 30th would be on our schedule, right?
No.
No, it's an off. It's an off.
It's
week.
it's an off week. What we could do is...
It wouldn't interfere with one of their meetings. They wouldn't try to squeeze it in.
So the 30th.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
changing it to a joint between all the boards.
Select Board's meeting this Thursday, so that would be, right now, that would be an off week for them as well.
I think it's an off week for everyone, to be honest.
So how's everyone for canceling the meeting on the 21st, which is after town meeting, and we'll add in the 30th?
That's fine.
Cool with me.
Do we want to add?
So we're adding September 30th
Correct.
and we're canceling.
I'd like to cancel the October 21st meeting. We don't have any, we're gonna, we have an applicant asking to continue something to that meeting. which we don't have to, we can bump it out to the next one.
Do
Oh.
we want to, since we're only doing one in November, do we want to pencil in just pushing it from the 21st to the 28th? Because otherwise we'd be going from the 7th to mid-November with nothing.
The 28th is going to be a joint, though.
October 28th?
No, October 28th,
sorry.
I'm saying. Because the October 21st is the one you were going to move, right?
Correct.
If we bump that one a week,
And schedule another.
and then we don't need to, because we'll have town meeting in between, and then we'll have 3 weeks between them
So just
And
change
then-
change 21 to 28 is what you're saying.
in October
Yes.
as a potential. And that way it's not the day after town meeting, and
And we
we'll
still
have
get
something between early October and mid-November if we need it. If we don't need it, then we don't need it.
Yeah,
But-
that makes-
Well, looks like we'll be continuing one of these public hearings to that meeting.
Thank you, Phil.
So Paul, you good with that? We'll cancel the 21st and we'll schedule the 28th.
Right.
And then, Paul, I have a question about the joint meeting. Are they going to try to schedule it at 6 p.m. or
I think so. That's
Okay.
typically when they start.
can we ask for like?
That's a
Do we know if we're going to be the first thing on the agenda,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
if we can?
Well, it's a joint, so I think it would just be.
Just a joint
That's
meeting.
the joint meeting. No one else, because it's
Six
an
is-
off
I think
week.
so.
6 is a little hard for some people. It's a
Yeah.
little early.
It is often
Can we
a
ask-
special arrangement,
Okay, let me.
but I
let me
haven't
see what
had
I
to
can
do that much, so I've.
Even if we
Say
bump
I
till
can't-
6:30
even
at
if we
least.
bump till 6:30, it would be helpful.
That would be real helpful, actually, because I can then have the meetings up to 6.
And the select board is. Do they still have the same remote attendance system that they've had before? In that you can't speak as a remote attendee unless you have special dispensation.
I don't know what they're doing.
Possibly, but they're having us with a joint.
That's the only way I've
I'd
seen
show
it.
up.
I think so.
Yeah. I did it once, but I ended up like having to text like 5 different people for somebody to know that I was in the meeting and promote me to a presenter. It was fun.
So I don't know how we'll set it up in here with all the boards. I would assume we'll just do some more tables out there, all facing each other.
Right. Right. And I'll talk with them about how they want to handle Zoom.
Just to
Yeah.
set a baseline. If we're going to be at 6, then that's
I'll ask them if they can move it to 6:30.
Yeah, tell them if it's hard with multiple of our members.
Right.
We have a,
Line, tell them that Rob was asking for 7.
Yeah, like 6:30 is like the earliest.
we'll come back to some other business and minutes after. Do we have any bills and warrants you want to pass down, Brian, who's not here? We'll move on to a public hearing. Definitive plan DEF2 for 125 Newland Street. The owner applicant is Newland 125 Nominee Trust. This applicant is seeking to subdivide an existing lot into 2 lots. They were originally seeking a continuation to the October 21st meeting, but now we'll make that continue to the October 28th meeting. Actually, now that I'm saying October 28th, that's my son's birthday.
Oh, okay. So
I knew that was bad for some reason. That's going to be a bad night.
No, we won't do it the 28th. That's,
so keep it where it was.
no, we're just gonna cancel it. It was.
Well, if we're going to continue something to it, then
Yeah, we have to continue something.
do you want to keep the 21st?
Paul, do you think we can keep the 21st and it might be a light agenda?
The other option, I guess we could check if it's a light agenda, could we just do a remote that night? If that's the only thing on there, and who knows how late we'll be the night before.
When do we have to know that by? When you do the agenda?
Yeah, we have some time.
Is everybody fine with that?
So we're keeping
Back to the 21st, no 28th. And possible remote only. I tried.
you did.
Kid's birthday's a perfectly good reason.
So the chair would entertain a motion to continue DEF2 for 125 Newland Street to October 21st.
Motion to continue to the 21st.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Second public hearing for the night, special permit 26 and site plan review 17 for 77 West Main Street. There was a site meeting this week, and the applicant is still working with the peer reviewer on some traffic. So he's seeking to continue to the October 7th meeting.
And school department rep was there too to explain traffic flow in the morning and afternoon, so everybody's on the same page.
Applicant, school department, Paul, you were there?
Yes.
Very good.
Motion to continue to October 7th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Well-oiled machine.
Last public hearing, special permit 16 for 1 Dean Street. The owner is JSC Holdings. The applicant is Morse Engineering. This applicant is looking to withdraw without prejudice.
Mr. Chair, can I raise just a
Yes.
clarification? So withdrawing without prejudice means that they can refile and come back at a later date. And Paul, they would need to renotice when they do that.
Correct. And we'll, if you vote to agree on the withdrawal, we'll submit a notice of action with the clerk's office, and we'll include that in OpenGov as well.
Now, just curious, we vote on the withdrawal. If they want to withdraw, I mean, we can't say, no, you can't.
We would have to take some type of action.
Yeah, what is it we vote on?
Your vote, well, you would vote in the affirmative if you agree to allow the withdrawal without prejudice.
Otherwise, it would be withdrawn with prejudice.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. And then they can't resubmit. That's fair.
I got no problem with them withdrawing, but just to clarify, I don't think what they were submitting made sense anyways.
Correct.
It didn't.
Correct. And if
Yeah.
they come back and it still doesn't make sense,
I wouldn't recommend them reapplying that exact same thing.
I've never seen anyone withdraw with prejudice. It just doesn't happen. There's a whole sticky legal thing there. So the standard thing is withdraw without prejudice.
Fine with me.
I think generally withdrawing with prejudice is a way to say, like, I'm killing this, it's never coming back.
Yeah.
I agree, probably because of a settlement or something like that.
Yeah. So SP 16, 1 Dean Street, withdraw without prejudice. Chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Bridget was ahead of me.
Next item is our public hearing discussion for the upcoming town meeting warrant, and is discuss and possible vote to amend the Norton zoning bylaw, Chapter 175B, by restructuring the organization, as well as making substantive text amendments that may include insertions, deletions, and renumbering, et cetera, to the entire bylaw. I don't believe we're going to be voting on this tonight. My intention would be to get feedback from the joint meeting, and then if we want to make any adjustments, then that would be when we'd be looking to vote.
I agree.
Paul's got a few pages he wants to go over first, and then some summaries that we're going to go over.
Sure. There were just a few items, I think of, a couple have come to us recently. This first one is just it's in the use table, so people know on page 9, in our table of uses, we found recently in our current bylaw a bit of a contradiction where if you're under 5 acres, we explicitly said you can't have roosters if you're under 5 acres and have 12 or under, but one line down where it just says you can have rabbits and poultry confined or caged 13 to 50 on less than 5 acres. It didn't exclusively say no roosters. And so just wanted to point that out to see if you would consider not allowing roosters. The main point here is that it's under 5 acres. We currently don't allow them if you have 12 or fewer hens. But if we have more than 13, you can have roosters, is what our current bylaw is saying.
And the differentiation is that it's a special permit in R40 and R60.
Well, that in the text itself, the way it was, the way we still had it and carried it forward, it said rabbits and poultry confined or caged. It did not say not roosters, and roosters are listed under poultry.
It didn't say for personal use either.
Right, we put that in because I think that differentiates between a farm and
I think essentially, as it was written, what it would do is allow somebody to have a small, like, fur bearer or poultry farm where they could actually breed it and sell product, because it didn't say for personal use,
right.
and it didn't exclude roosters. But the difference, it has special permit in the village commercial, and industrial zones. So it would allow, like, chicken farms in that area, which the other livestock category doesn't allow.
Yeah, I didn't change any of the uses, how they were approved in the zoning. I just added, for your consideration, the not allowing roosters and, considering it's for personal use.
So the way I sort of see this is it's almost sort of a pointless setting. If somebody was to apply for the special permit in the residential zone for this, they might as well apply for the farm, for the full livestock. They're almost the same category. The only difference for this is just that you can put chickens in village commercial, and industrial. Like, I offered up another chart, but we have to go through this first. But
Yeah.
I don't mind the change. I'm not gonna fight it or anything, but I just think the setting itself needs better analysis or comparison to the livestock setting. And the other thing is, like, if you have 2 qualified acres, you're already allowed any amount of livestock, horses and everything, breeding.
Yeah.
It's,
So for the for personal use really doesn't have any teeth.
not if you have 2 qualified acres.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you just go back up one second?
There's also that where it says farms, orchards, whatever, but then underneath it's farms, livestock, whatever. I don't think that was actually meant to be removed. Paul, there were 2 categories. It was like the farms with livestock for 5 or more acres and 5 with livestock for less than 5 acres. You have both of them scratched off. I don't think you meant to replace both of them.
I was wondering about that, what that message was.
You're talking about 1 and 3, Steve?
Yeah.
Yes.
So add those back in.
Well, right after we review this, if you bring up my chart, then you can kind of see where I reworded it. And there's also the farms, orchards, nurseries, greenhouse, tree farm category. In our current chart, it's available in the commercial and industrial zones already by right. So those shouldn't be a no.
Jared, do you want me to bring up Steve's?
Yeah, I think that helped.
Sure.
Or do we want to just bring up the existing bylaw? Is that,
Or all 3.
well, if the intention is to keep it level with the existing bylaw, I think that's where I would start.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I would like it to start at least right where we were, and whatever little adjustment needs to be made from there.
Okay, sorry, I'm right there.
So the top 3 match what's in our bylaw right now. No change. 4 and 5 would be the rewording of the livestock categories.
Sorry, Steve, just to make clear, this is yours.
This is mine.
Okay.
And below that, if you can scroll down a little bit, is the rabbits and poultry categories. The rabbits and poultry is on 5 or more acres, just overlaps. If you have 5 acres, you don't have to ask. We don't need that category in it. It's contradicting.
I have a question on this. On the ones, when you're taking out, it's also taking out the excluding swine. Wouldn't that mean then swine are allowed?
That's what it would mean. If we want to include that, we can include that. If you're allowing horses and cows and goats and sheep and
Yeah, they're opposed to swine. I was just picturing some of the settings. And people react to that differently.
again, anybody with 2 acres by mass
Who's making
law
money can, yeah.
can do it. So like I'm not sure how we even restrict swine as long as they have the acreage.
Do we have a way to put this up next to our existing bylaw on the screen? We can't do that on Zoom.
I think I agree with Steve that, the swine thing, not touch it. I would draw the point.
Yeah.
I would draw the point, I think. Yeah,
I think in this category we're just going to refer to mass law for what animals are domesticated for farm use. I mean, there's still, Board of Health criteria. You can't be any nuisances. You got to escaped animals. It's going to cause a problem, but
I keep my velociraptors very safely confined.
I'm trying to figure out that function here, how to,
Sorry.
there's got to be a way of comparing.
Make the window half the size of your
I think he,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm both open in Word and you're going to do a split screen, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna get tiny.
Yeah, it will be tiny.
I think anything smaller than that, we won't be able to.
I can't read that.
Yeah.
I'm already in trouble on reading. That's out of the question, and this is getting tight.
Oh, yeah.
I can vaguely. Oh,
Yeah, but that's
Zoom it
that's
in,
still just
but-
one.
No, we just realized right behind us are big letters.
Right. So do you want me to bring up the current bylaw?
Yes, you want to show the current bylaw quick, please?
Farms, line sec, excluding swine, horses. Right
Steve,
now
you
at
got the
fifth
best
line.
handle on this chart. You want to walk through the difference between our existing and what we... I think you are spearheading the changes in the...
well, I tried to keep it almost exactly the same as what we have.
Yes?
The difference that I'm recommending is just a change in the words that we use to the 2 categories, farms with livestock.
That's the 5th line down here. Actually, 5th and 6th do the same thing.
Yeah, 2 categories, one for 5 or more acres, one for less than 5 acres.
Yep.
And did we change what was allowed? Your proposed, are we changing? Yes. But
It
you
would
yes,
include
you had yes across the board on over 5 acres.
that's mass law.
Yeah, the current one says no in VCC, but then it also has a footnote that says if mass law says you can, then you can.
Right. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, and the category is on 5 or more acres.
Yeah. So it's essentially a yes,
It has to be a yes.
but it's, yeah. We said no, but yes.
I think
So
it's
is there any-
ambiguous. I think mass law says it's a yes. Then,
And why are we going to change it?
yeah, we should just say yes.
Yeah.
And then again, if I'm not sure, Are we legally allowed to exclude swine
I don't think we were in the revision.
when that's like it's an allowed species? If farming is allowed, if you
On
got
the
2
smaller
acres, you can
lots
do
with
it.
people closer together, I can see it being a problem.
Yeah, but my neighbor can have 3 dogs, a bunch of cats. And,
No, I understand that. I asked, and for what's worth, I don't agree that pigs smell more.
Yeah, sure.
It's just the other ones smell too.
It's just it's the limit being imposed where at 2 acres you can just do pretty much whatever you want anyways. That's the part that. And are we gonna fight it if somebody has a dozen pigs? Are we coming after them as a town?
I ain't going on their property.
And currently, we don't allow swine anywhere,
Currently,
currently.
but
Unless it's the
again,
5 acres
unless
or the
somebody
2
has
qualified
sight, can
acres and they
just
can do what
it?
they want.
So I think we all feel that over the 5 acres, keep the chart exactly as it is, but yeses all across. For less than 5 acres, or do we have to do, you want to do including? I guess the biggest decision is, do we want to include or exclude swine on both plus 5 acres and under 5 acres would be the first topic for discussion.
I'd be in favor of including them.
I'd be in favor of not changing it.
There are other standards that have to be applied through various departments.
You probably don't want to get a fight with someone who's got a pot-bellied pig.
My default would be to leave it as it is at this point, but
That's usually my default too, and that's where I'm leading. Unless there's really strong feelings by a majority of members on either way. I'm in the middle.
That's where I'm stuck too, actually.
I would just
I
leave
see
it as
trouble with
is.
swine on smaller lots and people getting into.
I mean, this could be one of those things we want to throw at the joint meeting. You could say, hey, we're kind of stuck on this. What does everybody think?
You guys solve it.
I'm just throwing it out there. More ideas, more people, more minds.
I don't mind
It's a-
asking.
I mean, it's a change. It's a sizable change for town.
I'm in favor.
I default to not changing, but then I'd also default to people should be able to do what they want with their
Right.
land.
Again, in my mind, if somebody can have a couple cows,
Correct.
why can't they have a couple pigs?
I think
I have to. I have to agree with that reasoning, but
It just seems like it's a large change.
yeah, that's my only concern right now because the reasoning makes total sense, but
This almost seems like one that would be
outside
good
of
to change by itself.
yeah,
If we,
Okay.
and then for the,
I mean, the permitting would stay the same.
right,
yes.
right.
I'm saying if we want to change it to
In-
include swine, that would be a,
Can we check with like KP or whatever? Is that like just a question we can just ask real quick?
are we allowed to exclude?
Like a certain type of livestock, even if they have a qualifying acreage?
if they have a qualifying acreage, I don't think this applies. Right?
Well, then it
Correct.
shouldn't be written there.
just curious, what happens if a person?
or over 5 acres, I guess you're saying.
What happens if a person comes to us and they have a pot-bellied pig, which people keep as house pets?
Right.
They would have to come to us first.
So there's a way we could give permission, say, yeah, that one's okay.
Probably not, but they would have to come to us,
Not the way it's written.
have somebody or have the neighbor say, you're not allowed to have a pig, and have it reach a stink big enough for it to get in front of us. I think that
But
would
if they
be the-
keep it inside, if they're not using it for agriculture, it's not farming or agriculture.
Yeah,
You can
I
have a
don't-
dog without asking for a farm.
Yeah. I think we're getting into a level of granularity that I don't want to be comfortable with
Don't-
government being involved in.
Correct.
Over the
100%.
years, I was in some situations where Largo was not permitted.
I guess for me right now, I default to our existing table.
Okay, but we're bringing back in farms livestock on less than and also more than 5 acres, and just moving forward the uses as aligned in the use table. Okay.
Yeah. That's fine with me. You don't have to change the words or whatever. That's fine. The other one is rabbits, poultry, confined or cage, 50 or under on 5 or more acres. That doesn't make sense. If you have 5 acres, you have all the livestock you can have, and you don't have a number of how many.
Yeah. That's another one where
That one
it's
should
yeses across the board, but no, but yes.
It should
Yeah.
just get scratched out.
Just ignore it completely. It doesn't matter because it's over 5 acres. Is that what you're
Right, but
saying?
it just shouldn't even be on the chart.
Rabbits and poultry, confined or caged.
50 or under on 5 acres or more should just not even be on the chart if it's already 5 acres.
It's redundant with the first one, basically.
Right.
It's included within.
So delete
There's-
that.
Just delete that line.
Could easily have a dozen rabbits, possibly 2 dozen.
I'll
Yeah.
let me just share what I'm working on.
I was just about to ask that, Paul. Thank you.
You live near me. You must have a shitload of rabbits.
Okay, so
too.
I took that out, and you can see I've started I brought the farms livestock back in, but I've made a note that, should we consider excluding swine, or was that take it, or just remove it completely? I'm sorry, just keep it as is, excluding swine.
Keep it,
Not change it yet. If we want to approach it in the spring and just ask people if they want to take off swine, that's fine or something.
as we're going through this in the joint session, it's going to show up that we've had discussion on it. We can always bring it up again, see if
Okay.
anyone wants to chime in on it. And back to our rooster issue.
Again, I feel like it just becomes redundant with the livestock on less than 5 acres part. There's not much of a difference. It's just specific for rabbits and poultry.
It's actually more restrictive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's compared to 5 or more acres. Never mind.
But it's
Um,
just less animals, but the same permitting. Except it allows rabbits and poultry in village commercial and industrial,
yeah.
as opposed to
Yeah.
regular agriculture, which doesn't.
Yeah. The level of granularity goes back probably 6 or 7 years. Because at one point it was special permit for anything, anywhere. In that existing row number 6, or maybe it was special permit in R40 and R60, and yes, in R80. But the reason 6 exists was to let somebody who wants to have a chicken coop with 5 chickens not have to file a special permit.
Right.
Basically. And,
6 is good.
And no roosters was like what if my neighbor wants a rooster? I don't want that. Okay, well, yeah. So that's
I'm not a
why
fan
it's
of
there.
the rooster rule either, but I'll leave it for now. That's
Yes.
another.
Defer to not changing.
Yeah, so our current is
So
does
just
not say no roosters, right?
Our current
Number 6.
for number 6 says no roosters and for personal use if it's 12 or under.
Okay.
The category number 7 on this
Okay.
it doesn't say that,
Okay.
but it's
Yeah.
being suggested.
I'm just adding it because situation could come up where they go, okay, we have 10 hens. You can't have a rooster. Well, I'll just add 4 more. Now I can have a rooster. And if you're the person next door,
Well, they'd have to apply for a special permit in that case to exceed
in
12
40 or
roos-
60.
12 birds.
In 40 or 60, yeah. In R80, they can still do it.
Well, in R80, they got full agriculture by right. Which actually, that's not a special permit. That should be by right
It is, yeah.
on
It's-
less than
it's a-
5 acres.
The first column.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a yes.
so you can't restrict anything below that anyway
Yeah.
in the R80.
so are we wanting to just take out the changes I'd put in on this one? Get rid of the not roosters and for personal use? And just keep it as it was?
I would leave it as it was.
Yeah.
It's less to explain.
Agreed.
And
Default to what we have now.
yeah. In this case, if somebody wants to sell eggs, it doesn't.
Was rule of thumb when our
run afoul of that.
When our conversation is all over the place like that, was that the answer is probably it should stay in one, stay as is.
Steve, you had another.
Yeah, the other suggestion, which I don't care if we change or not, was just the reducing the dog kennel from the residential zone. Well, dog kennel, veterinary, animal hospital.
You had this as a no, correct?
I did.
In R80.
Yeah, instead of a yes. But I'm not gonna fight it overly. It's not like a big thing we're facing, but
What is it currently?
it's a yes.
Cur-
It's by right.
Currently
Animal
it's a
hospital,
yes.
whatever. But
Not proposed, it's existing bylaws.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to defer to leaving it as it is.
cool.
Correct.
Okay. I'll just go through the rest of these. So this, in 4.1.2, table 4.1, the table of dimension requirements, a potential situation had come about, and it just points out an interesting situation where there's a proposal, there may be a proposal for a building that that will come in under the building height, but we cap it at 3 stories, and this applicant is at least talking about needing a 4th story, but keep under the building height. So the question I have is, do we even need a cap for number of stories? I mean,
What is-
ultimately it's the building height that matters, not how many floors that are with it.
What district do they want to build in?
I'm sorry?
What district is this project?
This one was industrial.
Or,
It was 50 feet and
Sure.
3 stories.
I suggested before. I would not recommend getting rid of the category of the number of stories, but I would recommend, as I have before, to increase the number of stories allowed to match the building height. Like industrial zone makes sense to me, even if it went up a little bit taller to 60 feet with 5 stories. You know, the commercial zone, it only has 3 stories available. That could go up more if the building height increased or whatever. I don't mind that part.
I'm fine with keeping the category and increasing, like Steve just said, adjust the chart to really would be only in industrial and would be industrial. I can't.
Yeah, I mean,
It's hard
that's
to
a
fit
really
more
s-
stories. Commercial's 45 feet. I don't think you're going to get 5 or 6 stories in there.
Yeah.
That's
No.
Yeah.
you get 10 feet minimum per floor, really.
I like the
That's-
category.
So in other
Yeah.
words, they can go to 4 stories as long as they're still under 45 feet.
So like I would be cool with like making commercial 4 stories and industrial 5 stories.
Scroll down, Paul, just to.
Yeah,
I'm just. So they want to put 4 stories within 50 feet for an industrial building?
it's not an industrial building.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
Just
just.
in the industrial zone.
It's, yeah,
It's
it's in
doable.
the zone, but.
Yeah, but I'm like, the average industrial story is like 20 feet. So.
Right. No, it makes
Well,
sense
that's
for
why I was
most
asking
industrial
a little bit
uses, but this was not, again, this is
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up because it's just an example of where a use that's allowed under the zoning, has different development criteria than an industrial use, and
Well,
the overall, the height doesn't change.
Each floor is like a massive boost for like
Yeah.
big selling point. Good tax revenue.
Especially in industrial and commercial.
Yeah.
In 50 feet.
I'm okay with leaving the category and then increasing the height the
Company has a
story as well to
maximum height
match the height.
requirement.
I would just increase in
In
industrial and
industrial,
commercial.
that's it. That's
Cool.
it.
So.
Well, actually, go back down to commercial.
But
I mean,
Just to
I don't know.
confirm, I would. We're talking about increasing the height, or are we talking about
Stories.
increasing the stories?
Stories.
Just
Stories
increase
allowed
stories.
within the height,
Okay, just to confirm.
but no height change.
No height change.
There's one other anomaly, and I don't know if we want to approach it, but Village Center Core allows 60 feet of building height and only 4 stories. It's our tallest district. It's taller than the industrial zone. by 10 feet. Do we want to allow the extra stories within there?
I want to say we kept it at 4 just for a density type of a thing.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So, can we confirm what are the changes that we're looking to do here? Is
I-
it just commercial and industrial?
Let's
to go to
let's
4?
just talk about one at a time. Let's just talk about industrial for now.
Okay.
Right now, industrial height of the building in feet is 50 feet. We only allow currently 3 stories. Then the maximum height of the chimneys, spires, domes, etc. is 65 feet. Question on the table is, do we want to bump 3 stories in the industrial zone to 4 stories?
I would suggest 5.
It'd be 10
Yeah,
feet
you're
a
not
story.
going to, I'm not sure you
Can't
could
get 'em.
get 5. You could definitely get 4.
Was an occupied roof deck counts as a story.
Correct.
So you wouldn't get the the 5th floor inside, but it could be the roof.
But doesn't this just get to the point of why do we even need the number of stories? I mean, we're battling over. I just go leave it at the height. That's what ultimately matters.
I think it really hurts us most in the village center core.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah.
That's my only hang up on getting rid of the whole category. Because now we're talking 6 stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So,
We could lower that height if we were getting rid of the stories.
I was gonna say we can lower it down to 45,
yeah.
Yeah.
and then we can get rid of that category.
Could, but it's not too big a change.
That's a big change. There was, I remember a lot of debate and discussion over putting it at 60 feet in the VCC.
So,
It is very tall, though.
in the interest of brevity, I would support changing 3 to 4 for industrial in height in stories.
I mean, I'm definitely down
Second.
with 4. That's for sure.
Straw poll. Industrial zone currently allows 3 stories. Do we want to go to 4? Rob?
But we're not changing the height, right?
Not changing the height.
I'm okay with it if we're not changing the height.
Tim's a yes. I'm a yes. Bridget?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Eric?
No.
Paul, could you scroll back down for a minute? Thank you.
Not to be argumentative with it at all, but just in case I've overlooked a thought, I'd be interested in hearing the reasons for the no.
For the no,
Yeah, just make sure you're not thinking of something
I would rather
I
just
missed.
keep it as is for now. That's my default with this whole document at this point. So honestly, any of these changes are to me are major changes and should be brought up in November so we can talk about them for spring. So that's why I'm a no.
Got a little bit of a point there.
I don't mind doing it that way either.
Can do it that way. That's fine.
I think it should be changed and adjusted, and if we want to
I
attack
agree.
all 3 categories,
That I totally agree. There's a lot of
might
things.
do it just as one whole thing where we're changing the height and stories together as one piece.
Push it off till Springtown meeting?
I'd be fine
Yeah,
with
because
that.
a lot of these things that we've been bringing up the last couple sessions, they just deserve time to have proper discussions. And like I said, like we have a pretty good document. It's pretty close to the original, with just clarifications and some adjustments, but most by statutory and federal. So I'm just saying that to me, right? This change to me rises to the occasion of let's talk it out. Let's get it ready for spring, and then bring it up as a point of discussion. Granted, at the rate we're going to have about 12, but still, I think this is a big enough issue that's creating enough of a discussion that we should give it time.
Yeah, we could address just the dimensional table as one thing. I'm cool with that.
The space in this outdoor
I think we need a second vote now.
make it easier with the public. Do you think the space in this out, moving some of this into spring like that, smooth that out, make it easier with the public?
We just ask.
We're gonna, let's revote that since
Okay.
Eric has now swayed 3/4 of us. Rob? Keep it as is?
Yeah.
Talk about it in spring
Yes.
or this winter.
Question I was just asking, does that make it easier with the public if we're coming with less? I think it would. So It's
Just
another
easier to
reason
say we didn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think at this point, like pretty much Eric said, to simplify it, our main goal should be now getting this reorganization passed and
Mhm.
changing less.
Agreed.
Motion,
already
we
been
say Eric
changed.
is right, we do what he said.
Second,
Third?
third. Sounds like all in favor.
Yeah.
Do we have a good list going? I mean, swine is going to be one most
Swine's
likely.
gonna
We'll
be
bring
added
to
to
that
the
up. We'll
list.
bring roosters back up.
I don't have a list at the moment, but I can make one up. Yeah.
We'll use your new fancy tracking chart.
I'd have to make a new one,
like
but
to-
I can. No, I think that's a good idea. Honestly, I've been talking to Paul a little bit about like I can't wait to get past this so we can have these discussions. So
Right.
there will definitely be a list.
That's why it's a living document. It should be changed constantly
Yep.
to
Um,
keep up with the
just-
times.
Moving on to section 6.5.4 on page 50, would we consider increasing the height of light fixtures for wall-mounted fixtures and pole-mounted fixtures, particularly with pole-mounted if you're in truck bays, a 20-foot high light might not be much higher than the truck itself.
What are we under here, Paul? Go back. Just what section are we under?
It's 6.5.4. Section and then subsection 9, height of fixtures on page 50.
So this is height of fixtures in an industrial?
Paul, I would agree to raise it up to 30 feet because at 30 feet or more, you have to apply for a special permit for non-residential lighting.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to match the permit.
Well, I agree, if you're working around semis, I think 15 is a bit low. Your trucks are going to be blocking light. And you see a shadow.
Especially a raised loading dock or
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
And Paul, just to confirm, all these would still fall under like dark sky compliant and everything like that.
the
So
fixtures
it's-
themselves would have to. Yes.
Yeah, 50 would be almost dangerous because it'd be a sea of shadows out there. As trucks move around.
Yeah, I think our existing is 20.
For wall packs.
It doesn't specify, unless I'm misreading the existing. It just says. No, it says, yeah, they both say 20 in existing. Luminaires, 20 feet. Wall packs should be 20 feet. And they have design about glare and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely fine with moving the wall mounted to 20 and pole mount to 30.
Second.
Straw poll, Rob,
Yes.
Yes.
Tim.
Yep.
I'm a yes. Bridget,
Yes.
Yes.
Steve, Eric.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly yes from Eric.
Definitely put that detail in there.
We agreed to his other idea, so I was feeling magnanimous.
This deals, now we're moving to section 6.5.5.
C?
Subsection
C.
2C. This is dealing with hours of operation. The operation of construction devices between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. I just bring this up because oftentimes construction, can legally start
7.
at 7.
7 a.m. is the
Yeah,
trade. It's what every trade is built around 7 a.m.
I think we should adhere to that too.
And then do we keep it at 6 p.m. or that extend out to 7?
So we're going to give them 7 a.m., correct?
7 a.m.
Yeah, if you all agree to that.
And just to confirm, this is a new piece that was brought in that's not in our existing bylaw, correct?
Correct.
We always would just set the hours of.
There is some noise ordinance law about 7 o'clock, though. I remember when I had construction done at my house, and the guys, they'd be there like runners in the starting blocks, wait until 7 before they could hit a nail or anything.
It's all across the board. 7 weekdays, 8 weekends. This doesn't specify weekends.
Should it? I didn't want to bring up a can of worms on that, but since we hit it.
Generally,
We have that already in point B above.
oh yes.
Oh yeah, 8 a.m. on Wednesdays on Saturday.
So what? The,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to take,
So we'd have to change the one above to 7 a.m. on weekdays or Saturday also.
and then C, we change that 8 to 7, correct?
For hours of everything, A, B, and C, we would have to change to 7 a.m. Delete 8 a.m., change to 7 p.m.
Yeah.
7 a.m., sorry.
A.M., yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's an A too. Would be. Like a backseat driver, aren't I? And then the ending time, were we adjusting that too?
These can
6
always be
p.m.
adjusted in our conditions also. Right.
That could be something to look at later.
Okay. We'll leave it.
We can leave it for 6 now and then either adjust it later, or we can adjust it in the conditions of,
If the applicant applies for a waiver or something, they can
Correct.
do that. I know there's been special waivers for like giant concrete pours that take 24 hours or something like that.
And
that-
you're given the ability to adjust this through either a special permit or waiver.
the 7 a.m. start time is just across the board for every trade.
Yeah.
For simplicity, could we just do a 12-hour 7 to 7? No, if it's,
I don't really care either way because it's not an existing bylaw, right? This isn't in there already. So
Right.
I'm fine with 7 to 6 or 7 to 7. It has teeth, but it doesn't. I think it's just a guide of where we should be. Go ahead, Tim.
I think the default. I have no problem with the default staying at 6. If somebody wants to go later,
they can
then
ask for
ask for a waiver. Or,
Cool.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Probably not going to matter much. That's
generally,
cru-
they work with if they work with like the building commissioner or whoever if they need a one timer, right?
It's
So
specified right in their permit.
Yeah. So it's
Those crews I mentioned that were like in the starting blocks at 7, also try and get them to stay after 3 someday.
Exactly.
They're as rigid about that time as they are about the start time.
So we'll
and lunch.
move.
Change to 7 and leave at 6 p.m.
Okay.
cool.
Done.
Yeah.
This was something else too that, okay, so we're in section 6.5.9 on page 59. Fire alarm, this is dealing with part of your performance standards with utilities, securities, emergency system standards. These are things now that we can ask for that we haven't been able to before. And so one of the things that had been added, fire alarm system, I asked Deputy Chief Robbins about this, and this particular one that says, for fire alarm systems, there shall be sufficient municipal fire alarm system capacity to meet operating requirements. This is something done at building. He made a point that when we're looking at it at site plan or special permit stage, they're looking to see if they have sufficient capacity in the lines, truck turning movements. But this is something they look at as part of permitting to make sure that there's sufficient fire alarm system capacity. And the same issue with site security. And unfortunately, I haven't heard from the chief yet on this, but this is saying that there shall be a certification by the chief that the applicant has provided a written plan for site security, which that is, I don't know who's ever done that, but
Marijuana did, I think.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. For marijuana, you have to by state law, but this is a blanket. Any project comes in, they're having to file a site security plan.
Let me just ask this.
And I'm not aware that this is even done at building stage, that this has ever been done.
It's
but-
definitely not done by the building department.
No.
Wouldn't an insurance carrier be enforcing that for us? Is your insurance carrier for a multi-million-dollar project? Aren't you going to require they have security on it?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
They may have something, but that could be like
I will admit, food service does not. That blew me away. I thought someone was lying. I was coming home one night and I said,
So-
what the heck? And I turned in there and drove all around,
But I can,
talked to people.
you know, I've emailed the chief. I haven't heard back from him.
Would it be the kind of thing that we could just put like at the request of the planning board?
That's kind of what I was thinking, Steve. Yeah, like if we ask for it, if for whatever reason there was something.
Controversial.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
If required, just add if required at the end.
Because even if the insurance carrier doesn't enforce it like that, I
No,
would think that's
but-
who cares more than us.
there could be like a special circumstance where we're concerned about a particular use
Okay.
for whatever reason.
So
Most
Adult
cases-
use, something,
I'm just
anything.
no, because we did it for marijuana because it's part of
Yes.
the state code.
Correct.
Right.
Um,
But
and at that point, we even said let's coordinate with fire department because with Canna because they're right near Xfinity, so we
Correct.
connected A plus B equals. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with 0.5, does Ed Bailey need that there?
no,
No.
he didn't. Well, this was Deputy Chief Robbins
Yeah.
who said
mean-
we don't need it.
I don't know if he needs it.
No, it's all done through the fire department.
Well, it's all right. That's done through fire. It's part of the building code process.
But he doesn't need it. Okay.
No.
Right.
There are some things that we've said that the building commissioner wanted.
Right.
So if he needed it here, even if it didn't apply to us when we're looking
Right.
at it, then
This
it's-
wasn't one
yeah.
that the building commissioner had asked for. So if you're okay taking that out,
Like security?
Please.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I feel like it's none of our business.
well, it's just
In most
trying
cases,
to get
yeah.
those items that are identifying. This is specific to, and again, a lot of these are additions to the current bylaw. So these are more tools that you have.
It's something we can ask for if we want.
Right.
The next section being one of the bigger ones that we're adding, in my opinion.
Yes.
Right.
You want to go back to that just quick? You clicked away from it.
Yeah.
We've had the discussion multiple times that we can never talk about fiscal standards or how does it affect. Now we could ask for a fiscal analysis. I can remember 2 or 3 times, Tim, you probably remember, at least 2 or 3 times we've had this discussion
Oh yeah.
from abutters.
2 or 3 times in the last 12 months.
Yeah. Yeah. This certainly came up. But
So this
again,
would give
these
us
are-
the-
This is an important section. because
6.5.10 is very important.
I think
I like
this should be
direct
called the
emails.
toolbox.
And this is, I know this should be highlighted and exclamated point. This is what gives all of our more teeth to our zones, our industrial zones that abut residential zones, which we have everywhere. This is a big tool that we could have.
Yeah. Just last on comments, Ed Bailey, our building commissioner, just asked to add a definition for trade services, and because we didn't have it, and this is just tying the services back to construction trade services.
I thought we already had one. I thought we did already have one in there.
We never had a definition.
No, we had a use identified, but we didn't define it. And this was pulled, I can't remember which town we pulled it from, but this is a pretty much
Seems
mirror-
like an accurate definition.
yeah.
Can we just scroll back to the uses table just to see where it's permitted?
Village commercial, commercial, industrial, VCC.
Yeah. So it's none of the residentials. Yeah, it's right there in number. It was there.
Wait, I'm sorry.
There it is. It's number. It's up just a tad. There we go.
There we go.
Military up.
Well,
we
it's
know what's
under commercial retail and services.
Yeah.
So
None of the residentials.
no,
Village commercial and up,
right.
or down, depending how you look at it.
So the building commissioner pointed out or mentioned it under number 3. There is just no definition currently for trade service.
So it's just.
And he occasionally gets a request for a trade service. He just wants to make sure it's defined. That was it for our stuff. So I will, you could see I was making some changes on the fly, but I'll go back and correct, make sure that these others are,
Before we go to, if Paul, that's all you had for,
yes.
before we go to the public for comments, we've got a few people in person and online. Paul and I and the town manager and the moderator, Jack Conway, had a Zoom call the other day, just basically talking about setup for town meeting and how we want to do it, how our changes. Jack's fine with getting us all up there. I said, Jack, I envision it, and it would be much easier for us all if we treated town meeting as we treat these meetings. If we can have computers in front of us and put down and with paper in front of us, and someone could be looking up a question or someone could be talking, it's going to be much better than people standing in line, everything we've talked about. So I specifically said we need some microphones and we need to have our computers in front of us to make it more seamless. And he seemed fine with that. We're going to hash out how to do it.
Okay.
I think it was 11 or 12, including us, the ZBA, building commissioner. And to be in the next point, we're going to try to get Mark Bobrowski back and have him at least present and chime in on the legal end. Since he did write most of the documents, it makes sense to have him there. Unless anyone disagrees.
No, I think that's
If we
good.
can get him, it's good to have him.
Yes. We would rather have him than not have him.
I'll even wear a tie.
In terms of the setup, where would we be?
We figured out we can't be on stage because it's going to block the screen too much.
Yeah.
He was going to talk with school board. School board only has really one item on the warrant, which is going to be the middle school roof. I believe.
Again?
I believe so. Am I remembering that correctly? Yes, middle school roof.
Yeah, they have a
That was in the last town meeting, right? Or was that? Yes.
They spent $50,000 and got a ridiculously high estimate.
I think the problem was
Okay.
quote last school.
I don't know what the problem is. Don't know why.
Okay.
Don't
No, I
know.
just-
I just heard there was that.
That's
I
fine.
just know
Yeah.
we mentioned that's the only thing the school department. So potentially we can have all their seats.
Okay.
And I had brought up, and I'm still fine with this. Obviously, it's limited space. If it's set up that the planning board's presenting all their items, and once we're done, we leave.
Right.
You can take 2 minutes. The school committee can come up, and however
Right.
whoever's presenting, it's not ideal, but
Yeah.
I
It works within the space. Yeah.
exactly. We only have so much space to work with. I think it's a good change. I think it's something that going forward, it's going to be only a positive. So
I like it a lot. Thank you for doing that.
on that note, we'll go to some in-person questions, comments, and then we'll take one in person, then go to one online. Whoever wants to race to the microphone.
I just wanted to see which of you guys was faster.
If you could just state your name and address for the record, please, I'd appreciate it.
Sure. My name's Kevin Walker. I actually live in Bridgewater, Mass. at 233 Main Street. I'm a civil engineer and actually thinking of moving over here to Norton for one. So in any case, what I do when I look at different towns is when I see a zoning change, it's kind of a hobby of mine to kind of read through them and just kind of see what direction the town is going in and if the regs tend to make sense. And there are just two zoning districts that kind of stuck out. One is village commercial and the other is the industrial district. You've got both of these districts both on 123 and you've got them on Mansfield Ave. And 123 I know has some sewer and Mansfield Ave does not. So if you take some uses, either you're adding uses to a district or removing uses from a district, it may not make sense in those two particular districts where there's sewer in one and not sewer in the other. I can tell you that I've looked at some areas in the VC district, and I could put a restaurant on 123, not a problem. The sewer, I can't put a restaurant near the reservoir because there's no sewer. That type of thing. So there's different types of uses that can be done and can't be done on certain parcels in those two particular districts. Just hoping the board could take a closer look at that and make any comments or any changes.
Well, well, thanks for your input, anyways. But I suppose the zones that we have right now have been set pretty much where they are for decades.
Right.
Most of them weren't any recent choices. I think everybody pretty much agrees that 123 and 140 need to be sewered the entirety. I don't.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a whole
I mean,
town.
we'd like to.
Yeah.
I think there are projects in the works to extend sewers in both directions, in all directions down the main roads.
Yeah.
So hopefully the ability to build matches the zoning at some point soon.
Right. I guess my point is I look more in the VC district than the industrial, but if there's uses that you're thinking of not allowing in one of those districts, it's currently allowed. And if it's a use with, say, a low sewage output that can be done via a septic system, I wouldn't want to remove that from the ability to use whatever use that might be.
Is there a specific one that you're thinking about right now? I think the big one.
So there's warehouses, there's
warehouses.
storage, there's showrooms with product, but it's not retail. I've got our company has a what we call a flex building. It's up in Nashua, New Hampshire. So it's 20,000 square feet, and they're in like 4,000 square foot pods. So somebody wants 12,000, we put a wall up here, they've got 12,000. Somebody just wants 4,000, we put a wall up here, they've got the 4,000. And one of the uses, and it's worked out really well, is they sell countertops, and all they have in their unit, the 4,000 square foot unit, is they have maybe a 500 square foot office and a bunch of samples. And then they've got room in the back, so it's like a loading and unloading area that when things can be delivered, they'll have stuff delivered to that spot for either redelivery out to the customer or customer pickup. So that's that type of thing.
A little bit like the place across the street from me. Bedrock has a
Same type of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say we had this specific discussion. Was it last meeting or the meeting before? Was it last meeting?
About reducing the warehouses.
Yes. Were you on at that point? I think you were.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
It was my suggestion, actually. It was the thought behind it is that the village commercial mostly matches the commercial and industrial zones pretty closely. And in order to expand the village commercial area into a neighborhood setting, we have to reduce the industrial uses within it to be accepted into a neighborhood. Most people are not going to accept a rezoning in their neighborhood for village commercial style.
Right.
Houses and stores.
Yeah.
If they're also going to get possibly warehouses next door.
Right. Understood.
Not that warehouses don't belong in town in some location, especially on main roads.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
we just don't have a setting where it's non-industrial but still allows retail in the neighborhood. So I guess that's the adjustment that we sort of, at least that my intention was.
Yeah. Okay.
The north end of 123, don't we have sewer coming in from Mansfield for some of that? It's like Alberta.
We do.
Yes.
Just at the top.
All the way down to the Roche Brothers Plaza, right?
Right, from the
Yeah.
town line to Roach Brothers.
It's Alberta's. And then how does Jasmine Garden do it? Or are they using a septic?
They're on septic.
Okay.
And that's all commercial zone
Yes.
up there.
All right. Thank you much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.
How did Emma's do it?
I believe that's our only in-person comment. I see at least one hand raised. I see Mr. Cogliano with your hand raised, sir. If you want to come off camera, you can. If not, you don't have to. But if you could definitely state your full name and address for the record, even though we know it, we'd be appreciated. And as you're looking to turn on your mic, I'm going to talk for a few minutes. We did receive your letter. We did abbreviatedly read it into the record. And it's posted with our information online. Can you hear me, Joe?
He is speaking. That's why you get the green frame around it, but it's not coming through.
Yeah, we don't hear you if you're speaking currently.
1 second.
It could be on our
Technical.
end. Hold on.
It might be us.
Because when you see the green frame around him like that, that's usually it's picking
Ye-
up the sound.
Okay, just let's put a microphone here. Joe, can you talk now?
Hello? Hello? Hi, Joe.
No, I am. That's coming over there.
We're hearing you faintly, Joe.
I'm hearing, I heard Tim Griffin.
Yeah, we are hearing you, Joe.
Is someone in?
You're not hearing me?
We are.
You are hearing me. Okay, great. I just have a couple of questions I'd like the board to answer. Could you tell me what was the specific purpose of the $60,000 grant?
Joe's question, if no one heard, is what was the specific purpose of the $60,000 grant that we received? We can.
Sure.
Do you want to pull it up? I believe we have it readily.
Sure. I can pull that. I'm just going to pull that up, Joe. And then I can speak to it, but sorry, I'm going through a lot of different screens here.
Joe, while he's pulling it up, I want to make sure you heard me saying that we did receive your letter and we did acknowledge it in one of our meetings, and it is available to the public.
Okay, there's quite a bit of feedback in the, in the system, but I heard that you received my letter.
Yes.
Yes. Well, while Paul's looking for that, let me tell you what one of my questions was. So it appears that the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities provided that grant.
Correct.
Their objective, they were established in 2023 to create more homes and lower housing costs for Massachusetts residents. EOHLC also distributes funding to municipalities, oversees the state-aided public housing portfolio, and operates the state's emergency family shelter program. Now, it's part of the state housing plan, which involves affordable housing and MBTA communities. Now, if they provided that grant, it seems to me that it would have been clear that the proposed bylaw amendment was not simply a recodification, but a major revision to support the priorities of the EOHLC as being part of the reason for the grant. So my question is, why wasn't this explained to people prior to the town meeting, that this wasn't just a recodification, that grant was given because of the intent to align the town with the priorities of the administration?
I don't think we're specifically aligning any of our what we want in this town with the administration. We've not referenced the state of Massachusetts once, other than state law that we have to follow, that we would get sued for by the state if we did not follow. All of this is, any changes have all gone through this board, the elected members of this board, in open hearing.
Well, let's put it this way. Tonight we were talking about rabbits and roosters. It's pretty obvious that this is a significant change to the bylaw. This is not a recodification.
We're way past that, Joe. We've addressed that multiple times. We have said this is a substantial review. We've said it's a complete update to the bylaw since the last town meeting, since we heard that feedback at last town meeting.
I was asking you why didn't you do that before the last town meeting?
I don't know. Last town meeting's way in the past for us. We're working on this town meeting. I don't have that answer for you.
Is there any way for you to not have that feedback? It's very hard for me to understand you.
Hold on one sec, we'll try. He's having a lot of feedback. I don't know if there's anything we can do.
What do you suggest I do?
Because the system you get the mic on is the one having the echo too.
Because it's not on mute. If you mute that laptop, you might not have feedback.
Let me try the next one.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second, Joe, please. We're gonna try to get it better.
Can you mute the mic on that laptop, but keep the speaker on?
Yeah, correct.
No, like keep the volume up, but turn on the screen on Zoom, mute it.
Just mute.
Mute the microphone on that computer.
Okay,
Then
muted.
try, yeah, and then put the mic back on the speaker. It might start.
Joe, are you still getting, is this clearer?
That's clearer.
Okay, great.
All right. We're still working out bugs with this setup.
So the next question is, does the proposed bylaw amendment have the impact of increasing housing density to move the town from rural, suburban, single-family homes towards a more suburban, urban environment?
It does not do that. It does not increase our potential density in any fashion. In fact, part of our adjustments have decreased the potential density.
Okay, so that, basically that would be in opposition then to the entity that made that grant, if that's the case, because that's apparently not what they're trying to do.
So Joe, there are some things in this bylaw that do increase development. Now, most of those are actually mandates of the state. Like, for example, accessory dwelling units, we are required to do that. And, we've made provisions to align with that to try to promote accessory dwelling units. There were some grandfathering provisions as well. We also have made provisions to promote mixed-use development, top-of-the-shop development in our commercial areas. But what Steve was referring to was currently, if you're in residential 40 zoning, you can do multifamily with no density cap. But with the changes that we're proposing here in residential 40, we're limiting multifamily to just up to 4 units.
I see. So what you're saying is, right now, there's no cap, and you've capped it now at, what did you say, 40 units or 4?
4 units.
4.
4 units.
In R40.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So then basically your position is that that the changes that are being made are not going to move the town from suburban, rural, single-family housing to make it more of a suburban, higher density location. Is that correct?
I would say that this zoning recodification update, all the amendments we're making, it is not an attempt to make the town more urban. That is not the goal I have or what I believe the rest of the board has.
It's not my goal. It's not what I want to do.
Sitting in here opposing that goal, so.
Does the master plan require making all of the proposed changes to the bylaw?
This is Paul again. So the master plan had a number of different provisions in there specific to changing the bylaw, but there was a more blanket provision that said we would do a code diagnosis and then make changes based on that analysis. So that's a broader one. So yes, the master plan did call for changes to the zoning bylaw, which is very typical when you update your master plan. You want your bylaw to align with it.
And
I understand that, but what I was talking about was all of the proposed changes that are being made, but I heard what you said.
No, I mean, it didn't talk about roosters and chickens, no, but, and I'm not being facetious, master plan wouldn't get to that level, but we did get there because we looked as part of the analysis early on in this process and found that those were some of the challenges that people were seeing.
Could a portion of the grant funds be used to notify the public by mail of the bylaw amendment?
The grant's already been extended. It's gone. It's already been paid out.
So the grant, there are no funds remaining,
It's been closed out, Joe.
been closed out, and what were the bulk of the funds used for
Consulting for Mark Bobrowski.
Bobrowski?
Mm-hmm.
Why is the board bringing this before the town again after it was defeated in May?
This is our job.
Good answer.
Is your job?
If you look in the charter, this is our job, yes.
Yes.
This is precisely what we're here for and what we do.
Well, I disagree with that. I think your job is to follow the bylaws. I don't think your job is to make a major change to the bylaws.
Well, whose job is that then? It just doesn't, the bylaw is a living document that needs to change constantly. Whose job is it other than the elected planning board of the town?
This is some of the things that I brought up in the letter. If you're going to try to do a major revision like this, you should be notifying the public by mail of what it is that you're planning to do. And you should be outlining those changes in the context of the existing bylaw so that people can understand. And you should also explain to people what impact this is going to have to their property rights, because that's, I think, one of the most important things that the board is supposed to do, which is to protect property rights. To protect
100%, and we have much more teeth in this new bylaw to protect property rights like we were just talking about.
Well, there may be some good things in this. You know,
Oh, there's definitely some good things in this.
Over the whole thing yet.
This isn't willy-nilly, we're just doing this for the hell of it, I'll tell you that much.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I'm saying, we're not doing this willy-nilly, and we're doing this for a purpose. We're not here for that, just doing this for the hell of it because we want to be doing this.
Yeah,
It's something that needs to be done.
I think the point is that no matter how well-meaning you board members are, and I think that you are well-meaning, the fact of the matter is it's impossible for you to know what's in the best interests of the other 20,000 people in the town.
Especially because only 100 show up to every town meeting.
Well, part of that is because of notice on issues. Part of that probably has to do with apathy. But right now, what you're doing is so important because it deals with property rights.
Yes, property rights, other than mailing everybody.
Hold on a second.
Let him finish his
We're
statement.
dealing with people's property rights. That is incredibly important. And I think that we owe an obligation to our neighbors to protect their property rights.
But aren't we
Now,
doing that?
in that letter, I mentioned mailing, and I think that the board's position is that they just want to do what's required under 40A, which is notification in newspapers. Now, that's just ridiculous today. People don't read newspapers. That's improper notice. The legislature knows that, but they don't care because they're not trying to inform people. But I think that we have an obligation as members of this town to protect other people's interests. And I think, you could get a lot of these changes you're talking about, but it should be done in a way that we can all be proud of. That the town works together, you notify people properly, and you know what? After they're notified properly, if they don't show up or they don't care, well, then they had their chance, and they relinquished their rights, essentially. But I don't agree with the way you're going about this. This is a tremendous undertaking that you're doing. And you may very well, have the best of intentions at heart. This is not the way to do it. This is just not the way to do it. And I think part of the reason so few people show up is because the notice is improper. So, originally I heard that the purpose for this was because of legal challenges.
Yes.
And, there are always legal challenges. If there's specific language that a court and an appellate court has found to be legal, even though all this stuff was approved by the Attorney General at one time, so be it. So then that stuff should be changed. But if you're going to change the whole bylaw, you either need to do it in sections or it needs to be a major undertaking, like I think the town charter thing, where there were many, many public meetings and people were notified. I think they're notified by mail. I think you remember something about that.
Joe, if
Speaking, 12.2B requires notification by mail unless the issue has a widespread or universal impact. And I don't think it's clear that some of the things that are being done here have a wide or universal impact. You know, like rabbits, chickens, or whatever. So, I mean, you know, I'm not sure about that. But putting all that aside, just ask yourself how you want to be treated. If your rights were at risk, would you want to be notified by newspapers that you don't read or by a mail notice? And is it expensive to do that? Yeah, it is. It costs about $6,400 to do that twice. It's about $3,200 for a direct mailing to the people of the town. So it's about $6,400. That's expensive. But when you're fooling with people's property rights, it should be difficult to do that. It shouldn't be easy to change people's rights. So, you know, look, I take my hat off to you guys and ladies that you're willing to spend your good time working on this stuff. But I think you're making a big mistake in how you're going about this. So, you know, that's some thoughts. And one final question. Is there going to be any attempt to show these changes in the context of the existing bylaw so that people can see what has been changed and what is being offered? And also a general, for the material items, a general statement of what impact this is going to have. Is there any movement to do that?
At town meeting, we're planning on having both documents side by side on the screen. That is the first.
Well, you know, that's better than nothing. But I mean, let's face it. This is a 127-page document in its original format. I don't know what it is now. I don't think most people, you know, who are attorneys, they're going to have a hard time following this stuff. Certainly under the pressure of a town meeting.
So unfortunately, that's what we're dealt, and that's how we have to do it.
and we've been
We have a
concentrating
summary,
on this
yeah.
for 2 years.
Do it in a manner similar to what I'm suggesting. Put this forward at the spring meeting, not do it at the fall meeting. Do it right. Make it
We are doing it right, Joe. Other than the mailing, there is absolutely no other way to contact people that we haven't tried. We've tried social media. We've mentioned it in every single one of our meetings. It's been on every single one of our agendas. It's on our webpage. It's timestamped on our webpage to our meetings when we've talked about it. Other than the mailing, I do not know of any other way we could reach out more. If there was, I would love to do it. And if we had the budget, it's simply not in our budget, and we're not allowed to mail everyone. If I could mail everyone right now, I would love to, but I can't, and we can't.
That's something then you should talk to the selectmen about.
Yeah,
The point is, this is too important to not do a mailing. And if it's not in the budget, then make it in the budget for next year. Tell the selectmen you need it for the budget for next year. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're pushing this. You're doing the quick march on this, and you don't need to.
It's not a quick march, Joe, at all.
That you're doing. This is a major, major undertaking.
Mr.
And
Chairman.
you need to notify people by mail. There's no other way around it. It's too important. You would want to be notified by mail yourself if you weren't involved with the board, or you weren't the type of person that looks at the town newspaper or whatever. And I think most people aren't. I don't think most people are following this stuff at all. They're too busy paying taxes. They're too busy working 2 jobs, taking care of children.
I think you're describing everybody on this board, yes.
That's why we have an obligation, I think a moral and an ethical obligation, to notify people of this stuff. And it may very well turn out that many of the things that you're trying to do are good things. It may be that way. I haven't seen it all yet. I pointed out some problems the first time around, but I haven't seen the whole thing. But give it some thought. Give it some thought. You know, let's make this something that the town can be proud of, is what I'm trying to say. Let's try to do the right thing here. Let's not say we wish we had. And for the people that are notified and they don't act, then that's their decision, and they have to live with that.
Mr.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Rob, you have
Yeah. Just want to be sure, am I understanding correctly that basically this is a specific ask for a mailing And what you're saying is if we don't do a mailing, we have not properly notified people, that this is about specifically a mailing.
I believe that unless you're notifying people by mail, you're not properly notifying them. And you know that by the intent of the bylaw at 12.2B. It basically says that notice has to be by mail unless it is of universal or wide application in the town. That raises the question as to whether or not what parts of the proposed bylaw amendment are universal and wide, or whether they just impact certain groups, depending upon what the specific language is. But I'm saying forget about all that. Forget about the lousy requirement by the state, which is improper in this day and age. What's the right thing to do here? What's the thing that you would want to do for your friend, for your family? You know, for people you don't even know, but that are your neighbors. How do we want to be, how do we want to treat people in this town? This is not Boston. This is not a city. This is a small town. How do we want to treat people? There's 20,000 people in this town. So I'm saying that people aren't involved with this because A, many people don't know about it. Other people probably don't care about it because they don't understand what you're doing. And they don't understand the impact to them. People don't care at all.
I completely agree with you.
Obligation to do the best we can, try to bring this, make this as easy as possible. Another thing is, I believe you have to show people the impact to them. Then if they're not lawyers, or if they're not, focused on trying to break this thing down, they're not going to understand it fully. But since you've spent the time on this, I believe you should be telling them, okay, this is what we did with bylaw XYZ. Here's the pro and con of it. Here's the impact that you're going to see from it. Here's what happened before. This is what it's going to mean to you now. That's what you should be doing. Because you've spent all this time looking at this stuff. Make it easy for people so that they can understand what it is you're trying to achieve.
All of this information is available in all of our meetings, which is on our website and on Norton Media Center YouTube page. All the meetings are recorded. Everything can be watched. All of our discussion is in these meetings, just like you heard earlier.
You know that. Is this Alan?
Yes.
Alan, I realize that. But people aren't going to go back and watch all those meetings.
Well, that's up to people.
We can't force feed and spoon feed people everything. People have to want to be involved also. It's
No, but you have to make it easy. You cannot expect people to read through the solar bylaw, figure that out
I was
for
going to have him
themselves,
elaborate.
and then make a decision on that. You've got to say to them, the solar bylaw, this is the way the situation was before, here's the changes, here's what that means. You've got to make it easy for people. It's only common sense.
I mean, every member of this board is making absolutely every attempt to make this simple and as easy as possible. It is not a simple document. It is not an easy document. We all have to learn. We've been practicing this for 2 years, getting to know this document, even longer. If you care as a citizen, if any resident cares, you have a duty to apply yourself. We cannot make people learn. We cannot make people read a document. If you're going to criticize part of it, be specific. Otherwise, you're being vague and criticizing something without displaying anything to us. What do you want us to change? What did we do wrong? There's a lot of assumptions that we're not trying, that we're not going to display something, that we're not going to give a full report when we get to the meeting, that we're not going to provide a guideline. They're all assumptions. We are prepping all these documents. We're working on it. We're finalizing all of this. We're going to sit as a panel and answer questions from the audience. But also, we were elected to do this. We don't have a direct vote for all of this stuff. We were elected to do this job. We got voted in by different people, and it's up to you guys to vote at the town meeting. That's your job.
That doesn't mean that includes amending the entire bylaw. We just had that. I just raised that point to you.
Well, that's your opinion, but it is within our duty.
There's no one on that board that has any special knowledge that allows them to know what's in the best interest of the other 20,000 people.
And neither does the requirement to be elected to this board. You could be elected to this board.
With notice, we protect those people by protecting their property rights and by protecting their freedom.
Most of these adjustments are to fix our law so we don't get sued.
Best interests.
To protect
let's-
people.
Tim, you want to say one thing and then
Yeah,
we
I
can move on?
don't. I think we're getting a little argumentative here, and I think my perspective is we have a dedicated page on this on our website, and that does include our high-level summary presentation, which we shared at our last meeting, and we intend to present at town meeting, along with condensed summaries of the changes that we've made. So that's point one. I'll say point two is this has been an ongoing thing that town staff been working on for a while. Town staff answers to the town manager, who answers to the select board. If the select board wants us to pause, then that's something that we'll discuss at our joint session with them about this, which I think we're looking to have either the 30th September or the 2nd of October, so next week. And they have your letter, Joe, and if it is a point that they want to discuss, if a mailing is appropriate, then that's a discussion that we can have with the select board. They're ultimately them, and that's how the chain of command would work from my perspective. If the select board or the town manager had said, I don't want town staff or the planning board working on this over the last 2 years, we probably wouldn't have been working on it. So,
Well, are you saying, was that you, Tim?
yes, it was, Joe.
Are you saying that within the website, you have the existing bylaw and the changes made within that existing bylaw? Is that what you're talking about?
I'm saying that there's the presentation and the summaries and versions of the document, and I'm not going to speak to exactly what Word files or where, but we think we've given anybody who goes to that page, and I think Paul's pulling it up here on the screen if you can see what's being shared, with specific links to the documents, to do our best to provide the documents. And there's the red line document, the narrative, a comparison table, and the presentation right there at the bottom of the page. So if you'd like to review those and provide any input as to or clarification on specific points in there, happy to look at those either in the joint session with the select board or at our next meeting, which I think is scheduled to be October the 7th, correct?
Correct.
So,
Does that also show the impact from the major changes to the residents and to their property rights?
We have a section that we've just completed. I'm not sure if it's listed here yet, that specifically shows residential impacts, correct? We've just been working on that page.
All right. All right. Well, I think that's most of the questions that I had for this evening.
Very good, thank you. And you did hear where we said it's either going to be September 30th or October 2nd for this joint meeting, Select Board, Planning Board, and FinCom.
And then what is on October 7th?
It would,
that would just be the next planning board hearing.
correct.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you want to come up yet? Do we have another hand raised? No, Joe, it's only Joe. Anybody else online would like to speak? I'll give it a minute for anyone to raise their hand or take their microphone off. If not, I'll go to the board if anyone has any questions, comments, concerns on where we are now.
I do not.
I think we're in a pretty good spot, actually.
Do you need a motion to continue discussion to the 7th or to the joint or just it's not an official motion needed?
I don't believe we need an official. We're going to keep putting this on every agenda.
Well, the time's coming up where next week is really the deadline because the article has to be published next week or in 2 weeks, within the next 2 weeks. So I just want to make clear, you're recommending we have the meeting on Tuesday, correct?
It was
Not
The ask
Thursday.
was both, right?
The ask was for both.
Yeah.
Right, and I heard the 30th, right?
30th and the 2nd were the two options for us.
Right, but is the 2nd on the table for you as well?
I don't think anyone had a conflict. I think we just picked the 30th randomly.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either, correct? That's what you're asking, Paul.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I thought that we had said that at the beginning of the meeting.
And Paul, you're saying, our,
7th is still within the time where we would need to, before the final text needs to be completed, correct?
It's getting close to it. So
I guess we should
hopefully
just,
at your,
we should-
at your joint, that'll,
yeah, I guess we should just confirm if we need all text finalized in the joint session or if there's a question of move a comma or something.
I'm looking, yeah, the 7th will be beyond,
Okay, so it needs to be finalized at the joint session.
yes.
what's the drop dead date?
I think it's going to be a day or two after your joint meeting.
It's after the 2nd, before the
After-
7th, obviously.
Correct, but is it,
I don't have a specific, but that's why we were pushing, it's next week. I mean, that's why they were turning it, the select board wanted it next week, because we're coming up against that deadline.
I gotta think there is a specific. If we don't have it tonight, that's okay, but.
Yeah, I've been trying to get it, and the good news is, this is almost there, and as you know, whatever this board recommends is what goes on the warrant, and as I've explained to people that you're working, you want to collaborate with folks to have that document represent the feedback that you've received throughout the process. And so if we have the joint meeting and there are specific comments about it, you'll take that up and certainly consider it as you've done in this process.
any other discussion on this for tonight? Otherwise, I'm going to go back to some planning board business, and we have some minutes to do.
Close it. Or?
No, we don't have to close it. Back to planning board business and policies. I'm sure you guys have seen Ken did send a resignation letter, so there will be another joint meeting to appoint a member until the next election. That's up in the air. It's stated in the chart of the whole procedure, so town manager and Paul with the select board are working on that.
Has that been posted anywhere yet? I know there's like a town page.
It is on the select board agenda
on
for
the-
Thursday.
Okay.
I don't believe it's listed on the,
I did not see it today.
Okay. I know the last time we got like, when people applied, we got like resumes and stuff.
Right. So, yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from the clerk or the town manager's office what that process is.
Paul, did you want to, I might have spoken too soon. Did you want to go through the PowerPoint that you've been working on with Eric and everything, right, on this?
I mean,
We did it last meeting,
we
right?
went through it last
I know, we
time.
didn't make any changes that you wanted to. I know you've been working on it slightly.
No, some
Still good.
minor things, but
Nothing,
no.
nothing that you want to bring up again. We do have minutes from last. We do have minutes from last meeting. Minutes for September 9th, 2025.
We also have bills.
Having reviewed the minutes, I'll just toss up a motion that we approve them. Of minutes of September 9th.
We have a motion to approve the minutes of September 9th.
Second.
And we have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? One abstention, Steve, out of the room.
Was that for the minutes?
That was the minutes, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if it's abstention, but what, not present,
Put
abstention.
down as abstention. It's still, they're approved.
Other than that, and these minutes, any other business for the board tonight from anybody?
Did you want to take a look at the project management sheets, or?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, because there should only be a moment.
I knew my note of show spreadsheet meant something.
And,
This wasn't the right.
Well, while Eric's pulling that up, Thursday there is an agenda item to at least start discussing all the bylaw, not just all the warrant articles, including our bylaw. So at that meeting, we'll just go over the summary sheets for them, knowing that we will have a joint meeting and go into more detail. So Eric has agreed to join, but as long as we don't have a quorum, more of you are welcome to join.
I will not be there.
What is this for? Oh, for Thursday.
Thursday's select board.
I
I'm
will
happy
try to be
not to
there.
show up and avoid quorum issues.
Yeah, I'll do what I can to help here.
Okay.
I'll show
I wanted to go, but I have something I cannot get out of.
Yeah, I don't mind going.
Didn't help. Don't-
Yeah, no, I thank you.
It's two.
I have to go to a wake.
Two's fine.
Oh,
You
I'm
stay
sorry.
under 4. 3 is
Didn't mean to make light of
3 is
that.
fine as well.
Okay.
That's still at 6 o'clock, right?
Yes.
Or-
It's at 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need you to not show up for a meeting.
It's.
No, he's.
I well, I
No,
mean,
we're
I
fine.
don't have to worry about.
I know. I always
I'm
try
okay
to
with
go,
the time.
but then I go home.
Yeah,
And once I
the
go
qualifiers
home, I don't
doesn't
leave my
help us
house.
get it
So I have to
for the
do
room
whatever
for
I'm gonna do.
No, I'll restate. If
to not-
you need me to join via Zoom, I can probably do that, but I probably could not join in person until after that meeting was
I think
going.
we're fine because it'll just be a smaller conversation it's a lead up to the joint meeting.
Yeah, I could join Zoom, but I don't feel like I'm contributing by doing that, basically.
So Eric's been working on a project tracker, something that every clerk can use going forward, a standard document for specifically the bigger projects when we have all these conditions and items up in the air and notes. Since the position of clerk changes hands, every clerk's kind of made their own. Eric's been trying to make one that's
A little more
a
universal.
little more universal for
Yeah.
everything and everybody.
Yeah. Mostly, I just wanted to give you guys a review of what I've been working on. You know, any feedback doesn't have to be tonight, but any feedback is appreciated. But yeah, the idea is, I think this is in a functional spot. But I want everybody to take a look before I make that decision, and then, yeah, going forward, I would probably, this is under my Google account currently. I'd like to move this over to the town. That way, whoever the town staff is, they can assign it to the clerk or whoever needs to do the work. But you can see, I just called it Norton Planning Board. If we drill down a little bit, to 2025 in January, before the first meeting in January, there'll be a 2026. Right here is like the basic tracker, and we'll look at a basic example when we get in the middle. But what I did was, my folder structure is the year. Oop, get in there. There we go. And then under that, there's active and decided. That way, you know, if there's a bunch of stuff open, it'll be in one place, but all the stuff that's already been decided is moved to another, but it's still there for historical. That's, like I said, that's the structure I came up with. Seems pretty simple, straightforward. If we need any more structure to it, definitely let me know. Because like I said, I'd like to have this more or less settled, at least, you know, the base of it before it gets handed off to town staff. But let's go to inside. And you can see there's 4 that are currently live. There might be more, but this is one of the simpler ones. So right here, we'll go down column A first. OpenGov number, that's just literally whatever it's called in OpenGov. That's just going to go there. Under special permit, under type, sorry, there is special permit, A&R. Oh, that should not be there. We'll fix that. I grabbed a bunch, but it should just be A&R, site review, special permit, and definitive. Then you put the applicant and the date. Down here is
Before you go too far, we need like modification to special permit. If you want another one, there might be another couple to add.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah. Yeah. Again, this is kind of what I'm doing. I've been basically, as we've been doing stuff, I've been adding things. But the idea would be with like special permit, we change it and A&R. It changed the criteria down here. That way, we have to fill in the notes a little more. But basically, whatever we're looking at, the base criteria will always be in the front. So that's, again, just trying to keep basically this front tab. I forgot to mention, basically, I want whoever's looking at it, whether it's us or I don't know about citizens, but the project people, they can just look at this tab and see everything that's currently open and the criteria we're looking at. So that was the main goal. Now currently there's no open items, but if we go under open items, I put a little checkbox here. What I designed it to do, and obviously I have to go back and change this later. All right, good enough. Now that I fill these in, if you go over here, you can see that they show up under the open item. So this would be like a quick description of whatever open item we have with the applicant. But the way I designed it is if we say we finished off 2 and 4, because I'd rather have odd numbers up, automatically just on this front page.
Cool.
So I'm trying really hard to make sure, again, this front page tells us everything. Both conditions and warrants is somewhat similar, where it's just, second condition. That will, again, that will show up in the project report. So if we are adding conditions both places, it will work. Waivers are the same. And the only other thing, I got to move this here, I have on the front page way over here is approved. So, is it in progress? Once it's done, once it's decided and moved to the other sheet, this needs to be changed to approved or declined. And that way, again, I'm trying to get all the information on the front page, not only what's currently going on, but historical, just if for whatever reason we need to go back. Let me see, waivers. Oh, the other thing, it's not on here. I think I might have copied the wrong sheet. But under last updated would be like if we made some adjustments to it today, I would change this date to today. And then underneath, if there would be another purple section, which would say, I think it's connected to, where if there is another project sheet that represents like this is A&R, but let's say this was special permit, but we also have a site plan review, which is not unusual. I put a place where you can put a link between the two. So if you see one, you can click on it, it'll open the other and goes back and forth. That's always going to be manual work because unfortunately I can't have a point directly to OpenGov Easy because they don't use, the ID numbers we see are not what they use. So I can't just, there was no easy way of doing that. So this will always be a little manual work. At least the sheets will point to each other. And that's pretty much the whole thing. But yeah, this is basically, I'm hoping this makes it easier on everybody. My idea was that part of this is that whoever needs to see it would get view access to all this stuff. So again, all the information should be on the front page. And the clerk and town staff would definitely have edit access to it. I don't know if anybody else would need edit access to it. I think that's might be a worthwhile discussion. I don't know if we'd want to open up to the officers of the board or the whole board. I didn't want to, make any assumptions, but that is doable. But again,
I really think we just need it for us and maybe Paul and Brian.
Well, the edit access would only be for the board at the most. But if a project manager, but if we added this to OpenGov as a link or something, then they would be able to get view access to it, so they can see it, but they wouldn't be able to touch it. That would be the ideal scenario. So I just don't know where the line is of who would have the ability to be an editor. So right now it's just me, Paul, and Brian.
I think it should stick to town staff, Paul and Brian, and the clerk.
Cool.
How
All
I
right.
would
I
have
don't
it.
have to make any changes.
Unless, Paul, you think any different.
All right. But that is pretty much a sheet. On the open items, conditions, and waivers, items is basically the short description I was talking about. But if you need more comprehensive notes, dates, respondee, responses, basically, if you need to go beyond what you see on the first page, I try to capture everything you need here, so that like I said, if there was a condition, but it was like not a condition, but if there was a big long discussion on one of the open items, then we can put all the notes there if we want. But as far as just seeing what's open and what we need to work on, the basics should stay in the front.
You've done a very good job in choosing what to put front and center, getting the key details.
I definitely stole from other people that's done this in the past, but yeah, it's like I said, my ultimate goal was making sure this project report was a simple report for everybody. So I tried.
No, I agree. I can get all this info if I want to jump around and dig, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. That is the goal. So,
I like the presentation.
The ease of use to
Yeah.
modify it during the meeting as we're talking is what we need. We need
that's
exactly.
Correct.
yeah, that's why I got these down here so you can add a description and then, like I said, notes. Honestly, I forget which project it was, but I was using this for a different project. And I was like, I don't type this fast, slow down, but it's there. I think this is good. Like I said, if you see something like either you don't like or think should be added, just let I guess let Paul know so he can let me know. But I think this is at very least is a good starting functional standpoint to be using these. And like I said, I've had a couple.
I believe it to be a process improvement.
So
Yeah, do you have a complete one by any chance?
you would ask that.
Okay, if you don't, I'm just curious.
That one's not a good one. I'm just trying to. I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head. So we had one that had a lot of notes.
I know. I was thinking like recent.
Oh yeah, we had like this one has some conditions. The no open items. I guess they're only conditions. But you can. Let me see if I can find one that had some. Sorry, I'm flashing on the screen for everybody at home. Not that kind of flashing. Nope. All right, it's gonna be the last one, obviously. Nope. All right. I don't know why they don't. I don't know. But these are technically complete. They just don't have a lot of notes.
Right.
So there was one that had a lot of notes. Maybe it's still open, but yeah. And then this turns green when there's no open items, just because we're done. But that's hopefully something that is usable and I was originally trying to Excel, but we weren't able to use Excel because I have a more recent version. So,
Yeah.
but Google Sheets seems to work for it. So,
Can I ask a question? Eric/Paul/Brian. I know in OpenGov, in like the details section, we have things for conditions and special permit conditions, and I guess one of those pieces of OpenGov currently effectively used, and do we populate them when a decision is issued?
Not when it's issued. It's a weakness in OpenGov as opposed to our prior.
But like in OpenGov, it says like add conditions. Would that in theory be something that we would do?
In OpenGov?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be one of the tasks after the zoning bylaw update. We're going to have to go back into OpenGov and add all those new provisions that are there to help spell out, help direct applicants, to the new if it's approved, what the new regulations are.
Okay. But in terms of the conditions field in OpenGov does not have like binding impact on the applicant or anything like that. So I wonder if that's also a place where we could do some of this. I don't know who has edit access to add conditions to that box in OpenGov.
We do.
Yeah, I know that,
Yeah.
but I assume the applicant doesn't. But
No, they just have the ability to
upload.
upload
Yeah.
and click on the required.
Yeah.
Required.
Because it looks like just like a text field. So we could use that as a bit of a note-taking area too within OpenGov if we feel like the folders and things are spiraling.
Yeah.
But just a thought.
or we can also like if we can put notes in, we can generate a view-only link directly to this, and then that way they have more expansive notes.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Question. Eric, did you say this does some syncing with OpenGov directly? It's able to sync
because each, not to go down the technical side too much, but the ID number that they provide for this is not the unique identifier. They have their own code that they use in the URL, and it's like seems randomly generated. So there was no easy way for me to be like, and SB16 is this URL. So now, unfortunately, the best I could do is kind of like what you can see here. We got related to. And if I click on this, and it lets me.
Gotcha.
Remove it.
Okay, no, fair enough. I was just
Oh, I click
asking.
on it
Yeah,
below.
I don't need it. Explain to me why not.
I know.
But now
I
that
don't
goes.
do that.
But now we got these two. Now they're connected by that field in these particular Google Sheets. It's not pretty. I miss having Asana or Monday or those type of things, or Trello. But for what we have, I think this will work.
I think it's more than enough for what we need, specifically for during the meetings, who's ever
No,
trying
I
to do
agree.
it quickly.
It actually, I'm liking it because it addresses some frustrations I've had.
That's kind of, yeah, that was the thing. I want to make this as easy as possible on everybody.
I mean, we could always go back to my scribbling of my hand notes for every meeting if you want.
We can copy that in, paste
If you
it
want
up
to
in a
copy
picture,
all
no
my scribbles in,
problem.
that
We'll
would
do
be, that'd be
You should see
good.
me the first 30
Well, I'm
minutes.
not saying don't do your scribbles, but I'm just saying let's have it, we can have it centralized.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like it, Eric. It looks great.
thank you.
I like a spreadsheet.
Anything else by the board? If not, our next meeting is October 7th, and I'd be looking for a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
That's a tie. I'll give it to Bridget.
Thank you.
Second by Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Good night, everyone. Thank you.